One of football's greatest stories in 2026 doesn't belong to Messi, Ronaldo, or Mbappé. It belongs to a 40-year-old goalkeeper from a tiny island nation that most football fans barely know. A man many thought was too old, too slow, and too forgotten. Yet somehow, against all odds, he shocked the entire football world. This is the incredible story of Vozinha, the goalkeeper who refused to let time defeat him. For most footballers, turning 40 means retirement. It means coaching badges, television studios, or watching the next generation take over. Very few players survive at the highest level beyond their mid-30s, especially goalkeepers competing on the biggest international stages. Football is unforgiving. Age catches everyone. Reactions slow down. Injuries take longer to heal. The body simply cannot do what it once could. But Vozinha was never interested in following normal rules. Born in Cape Verde, a small island nation off the coast of West Africa, Vozinha grew up far away from the glamorous world of European football. There were no giant academies, no worldwide headlines, no promises of fame or fortune. Football was simply a passion, a dream, and like millions of young boys across the world, he chased that dream with everything he had. For years, Vozinha built his career quietly. He played in different leagues, represented his country with pride, and gradually became one of Cape Verde's most respected footballers. Yet outside Africa, very few people knew his name. The football world was obsessed with superstars. Players from small nations rarely received global attention. That would soon change. Cape Verde itself is one of football's most fascinating underdog stories. A nation with a population of barely 500,000 people competing against giants with millions upon millions of people to choose from. Every tournament qualification felt like a miracle. Every victory was celebrated like a national holiday. And standing at the heart of that dream was Vozinha. As the years passed, many expected him to step aside. Younger goalkeepers emerged. Critics questioned whether he could still perform at the highest level. After all, football history is filled with players who stayed too long and watched their legacy fade away. But Vozinha refused to leave. Instead, he worked harder. While younger players relied on athleticism, Vozinha relied on experience. He studied opponents obsessively. He improved his positioning. He transformed himself from simply a shot stopper into a leader. Teammates looked to him not just for saves, but for guidance, calmness, and belief. Because when you play for a small nation, belief is everything. Fast forward to 2026. The FIFA World Cup had arrived. The biggest sporting event on earth. Billions watching, entire nations dreaming. For Cape Verde, simply qualifying was already historic. Most experts predicted an early exit. The football giants would surely prove too strong. Then came the matches, and suddenly the impossible started happening. Cape Verde refused to be intimidated. They defended bravely. They fought for every ball. They played with heart, discipline, and fearlessness. But above all, they had Vozinha. Again and again, when his country needed him most, he delivered. Powerful headers, one-on-one situations, long-range strikes, penalties, it didn't matter. Somehow the 40-year-old goalkeeper kept producing save after save. Fans across the world couldn't believe what they were seeing. Social media exploded. Who is this goalkeeper?
To open up, Kukurea, and oh, it's back off the frame of the goal.
How is he still doing this at 40? Is this one of the greatest World Cup stories ever? The answers were simple: experience, determination, and an unbreakable spirit. One particular performance changed everything. Facing one of football's traditional superpowers, Cape Verde entered the match as massive underdogs. Almost nobody gave them a chance. Analysts predicted a comfortable victory for their opponents. The difference in squad value alone was enormous. But football has never been played on paper. As wave after wave of attacks crashed toward Cape Verde's goal, Vozinha stood tall. He made diving saves, reaction saves, world-class saves. Every stop increased his teammates' confidence and frustrated the opposition even more. The cameras repeatedly showed stunned fans in the stadium. How was this happening? How was a 40-year-old goalkeeper producing performances that many younger stars could only dream about? Because greatness isn't always about age. Sometimes greatness is about refusing to surrender. The deeper Cape Verde progressed, passed, the bigger the story became. Suddenly, major football media outlets around the world were talking about Vozinha. Pundits praised his leadership. Former players admired his mentality. Fans everywhere adopted Cape Verde as their second team. People love underdogs, but more importantly, people love stories that challenge what they believe is possible. Vozinha represented something bigger than football. He represented hope. Hope that age does not automatically end dreams. Hope that small nations can challenge giants. Hope that determination can overcome limitations. For older fans, Vozinha became an inspiration, proof that passion and dedication do not disappear with age. For younger fans, he became a reminder that careers are marathons, not sprints. Even the greatest stars in football history eventually slow down. Messi, Ronaldo, Modric all have faced questions about age, but players like Vozinha remind us that football intelligence, leadership, and experience are incredibly powerful weapons. Goalkeeping, perhaps more than any other position, rewards wisdom, knowing where to stand, reading the game seconds before everyone else, remaining calm under unbearable pressure. These are qualities developed over decades, and by 2026, Vozinha had mastered them all. His teammates often spoke about his influence in the dressing room. They described a leader who never panicked, never complained, and never stopped believing. When younger players felt nervous, Vozinha reassured them. When the team faced adversity, he reminded them why they belonged on football's biggest stage. Leadership cannot be measured in statistics, neither can inspiration, but both can change history. Whether Cape Verde eventually lifted the trophy or not almost became irrelevant, because they had already won something else: respect, the respect of the entire football world. And at the center of that respect stood one man, Vozinha, a goalkeeper many had overlooked, a player many believed was finished, a 40-year-old veteran who shocked the football world and proved that dreams do not have expiration dates. Years from now, fans may forget certain results or statistics from the 2026 World Cup, but they will remember the emotions. They will remember the underdog stories. They will remember the tiny nation that dared to dream, and they will remember the image of a veteran goalkeeper standing tall against impossible odds, refusing to let time define him. Because football is not only about trophies, it is about stories. Stories of resilience, stories of courage, stories that remind us why we fell in love with this beautiful game in the first place. Vozinha's journey teaches us one powerful lesson: age is only a number, heart is timeless, and sometimes the greatest miracles come from the most unexpected places. The world expected another superstar to dominate the headlines in 2026. Instead, a 40-year-old goalkeeper from Cape Verde stole the hearts of football fans everywhere, and that is why football will always remain the beautiful game. If Vozinha's story inspired you, hit the like button, subscribe to Football Chronicles, and turn on notifications for more incredible football documentaries. And let us know in the comments, is Vozinha the greatest underdog story in football today? See you in the next video.